Hey, gang, as you probably well know, it's Adam Von Romer, author, speaker, seminar leader, 32-year veteran of the commercial investment real estate world, and founder of the Commercial Investment Real Estate Academy. And tonight I got my buddy Eli Randall with CREXi. And you know, guys, every now and again, what I try to do is I try to bring you a service or, you know, a tool that's going to help you make more money or help you make money quicker. And I'm really excited by what Eli and his company have to offer. And I think it's going to be a really good tool and another arrow in your quiver to not only market and promote your properties, but to keep those listings and certainly retain more of those listings. So what I want to do, I'm going to let Eli take over here. I'm going to have him give us a demonstration. Hopefully we'll you know, get you guys through this thing. We're not going to take all night for this, but I think it's a really cool tool. And I think that if I'm not mistaken, Eli's going to have you know, access for you guys a little bit later on. So let's let him do his thing. And I thank you all for joining us tonight. So Eli, you are the man. Everybody's on your screen. So let's see what you got up your sleeve for us tonight.
Great, Adam. It says only Adam here, but I hadn't started speaking, so hopefully now they hear me. Appreciate you having me. By way of 30-second infomercial, me and my partners, who are the founding team of our company, helped build auction.com commercial. Our fourth co-founder was a CTO. He's our CTO, and he had been at Apple and had decided to leave Apple, and we were lucky enough to encounter him, and he's our tech guru, and he's a really talented guy. Our company is based in Los Angeles, but I've opened the Miami office, which is just me right now. But I'll give a very quick, painless 5-minute demo. When you're ready to share the screen, let me know, Adam, and I'll walk us through it.
Beautiful. It should be, you should be the presenter right about now.
Great. And do you have my screen right there?
Oh, I'm looking at your screen right now, so I think you're up and live.
Okay, great. So this is our landing page. You can learn more about the company here. This is our search bar, very robust search functionality. You can go by property type or keyword location or anything along those lines. Most people typically go in and just view all the properties at once. I'm going to close out this chat feature. We have someone on the line at all times who can help. We have a map view, which is great. You can hone in on an area and scroll over the tiles, and it'll show them to the left here. I typically use the grid view. So you'll see we have 2,200 properties right now. You can also use filters to more narrow your search. And then you can also export all the results into Excel, and there's a link there where you can be brought directly to the property page. So if you're an acquisition person on behalf of a client, you can send them a list of properties that meet their criteria, and they can click the link and be brought directly to the page. If you go into a property, note I'm not signed in right now. It's not too dissimilar to some of our competitors. You've got gallery views. This is a WeWork property in Portland, Oregon. And then you have due diligence vaults, which are you know, one of our main competitors does not have. These are protected by a confidentiality agreement. In order to execute that, I need to sign in. Why that's important is because from now on, we're tracking your activity. So you'll see what that means in a moment. But in the meantime, you've got very clean contact functionality. The email comes from you, not from us as an intermediary. And you can also submit offers online, which is something we're seeing happen a lot. Other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory and easy to learn on your own. That's the purpose. We don't want to make it too complicated. I'll let you navigate on your own and learn this side, the buyer side. What's important to, I think, the audience I'm speaking to is the sell side. So I'd go to my CREXi if I'm a broker on our platform. This is the property we're marketing. I just add myself as the admin so I could show you. It's got an overview of all the stats in terms of visitors, executed confidentiality agreements, open flyers. I can do a e-blast directly from the site and insert up to 5,000 emails here. Oh, I have to type one in first. I'll just use that. You can then type a customizable message, and this is basically what your e-blast will look like. So you can power your e-blast very simply on your own. Keep in mind this is all very mobile friendly. That's the marketing side. You can also track all your marketing campaigns in terms of who clicked, whether they clicked through, did they open the vault, did they execute a confidentiality agreement, what level of activity they performed. But I'm going to go back to my dispositions tab, and I'm going to narrow in on this property.
Hey, Eli, while you're digging through that, one of the things that I thought was really kind of interesting about this is just how clean, the landing page and all the stuff is. I mean, it's not all garbaged up. You don't got ads and people's heads popping up in the middle of your search, or you're not looking at a picture of one of your rivals every time you're trying to do something. And it's just to me, it's a much cleaner and crisper look than a lot of the other products that are out there. And it's certainly not as let's say, laborious to use as CoStar. I mean, CoStar is a brute sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's probably based on our DNA, as our CTO came from Apple and very well-known person in Silicon Valley, and makes intuitive software so that it's very simple and can be learned on its own. We often liken our program to an iPhone. You can walk in the store, learn to call and text, and then very easily learn the other features on your own when you get home. Mm-hmm. They all exist. There's incredible power, but we like to keep it simple with the ability to learn the platform on its own.
Sure. Well, that makes sense because we're brokers. We're not, IT people, so we're trying to get to the market quicker. And certainly, with less brain damage.
100%, and this is built by people with real estate in their DNA as well, including myself. So it was designed with all that in mind. Just to keep it going, I go into the property page, and I've got this analysis in the upper right, which is printable and viewable to your client. I can then, let's say, go into open flyers, look at everybody open the flyer. I can download their V-card. I can make a note. This is going to speak to Salesforce very soon. It also speaks to our internal system, which you'll see shortly.
Right.
And I can learn who's looking at this property, which can be valuable information, and at the very least is good for reporting to my client.
Hey, now, Eli, do me a favor, back up to that report that you suggested we could send to the client.
Sure. I'll get to a great reporting feature at the end. I like to finish with it.
Perfect.
It's usually a Friday activity for most brokers.
Awesome.
So I typically finish with that at the end.
Excellent. One of the things we talk about in listing retention and marketing is having a tool or part of our process is to reach out to the sellers on a weekly basis to let them know what we're doing on their behalf. Just as a listing retention tool, but also it helps get the property sold.
100%. Couldn't agree more. I think a lot of this is about the transparency that sellers are now demanding. They want to know what kind of activity there is. Same thing good brokers are providing anyways, but in a clean, organized fashion.
Beautiful.
So just moving forward, and I only have a couple more features, but I'm happy to get into it further or answer questions. We have this activity feed page. Mind you, if I had 10 listings, this would be for all of them, but I'm only demonstrating one. So you can look at it almost like a LinkedIn or Facebook view where you can see, maybe I come in every morning and just see what kind of activity each property had. So-and-so viewed it, so-and-so opened the flyer, executed a confidentiality agreement. So that's just a nice view to know what's happening in real time on your property. I have this leads tab, which aggregates all the leads for your properties over the career of your time with CREXi. So if you've been with us for 5 years and marketed 50 properties, this is your internal Rolodex. I can contact them all at once. Maybe I contact them and say, new property address. And I'm sorry, I think this is the screen share. It's getting a little choppy, but I can contact them all at once and say, maybe I'm moving office or now doing leasing. I can contact all the leads at the same time, or just access them at any given moment. And I can also merge this with my CRM. So any leads you stir up during your time with us, those are yours to keep. Those are yours to download and merge with your CRMs. We're not keeping you from the consumer.
Nice.
Messages is just our internal messaging system. This is a carbon copy of the same emails you'll get sent to your cell phone. And then last, what I like to finish with that you alluded to, Adam, is our reporting. So for your less tech-savvy clients, you can hit Generate Report, and you have a very detailed report in Excel of all that activity, all the notes you took. You can sort it by visitor, open flyer, executed CA, all their contact information, their email. Maybe you use this to divvy up the calls between your team. Maybe you use it to send it to the seller for reporting. It's in Excel, it's customizable, and it's basically all that information which we just saw on the website.
And that really dovetails with a lot of what we're doing. The beauty of it is you're capturing. I mean, I know every day I get an email that tells me somebody signed a CA or somebody opened a brochure or something. And I think that's a really, really cool feature. So you can get a sense as to the activity. Plus, I can go back and find out, like you said, who opened what and where they are. And if I see somebody's opened that CA 6 or 7 times, or looked at a broker confidentiality agreement, but I haven't talked to them, that gives me a reason to give them a call and reach out to them and see what they need to know that can help them in the process.
Couldn't agree more. I think the more you can learn about the buyer behavior in terms of who's underwriting the deal, you get a better feel for who's going to make an offer, whether it's going to be an aggressive one or not. And then maybe you can just manage your tone or your deal dance as a broker, for lack of a better term, accordingly.
And at this point, I think, when you can whip out a report like this, like you generate the report, and send that right to the seller and say, hey, look, this is the activity we've had. We've had X number of views, X number of people logged on, and that ability to capture all their contact information, I think, is far superior to any other product I know about. That I don't think I've seen anything quite as robust in any other form. And it doesn't give you that ability to get back to them like that quickly. And sending out 5,000 emails, that's not bad either.
Yeah. Well, we're at a point now where some of our early adopter sellers are demanding that their brokers, and we're not here to replicate brokers, we don't do for sale by owners, but that some of their brokers use us because they know all the activity is tracked. They know there's full transparency. They get to get engaged a little further. And I think seller engagement usually is more likely to lead to a deal. They're going to know the property has been properly marketed and accept offers versus wondering if it was really properly put out there. So we're seeing buy-in from the seller community.
Beautiful. Well, let me ask you this: for the people that are on with us tonight, if they want to take advantage of you guys, and I'm certainly urging them to do that, what do we need to do? How do we reach out to you? How do we get a hold of you? How do we start getting our properties on there? What's the process and protocol for that?
So I will put my contact information on the screen in a moment, but they can always submit a property on the homepage, and I see that real time. And I have a team of gentlemen who are very, very responsive. And in order to put a property up, we have full white glove service for 2 reasons. One, to make your life easier so you don't spend time deciding if your property is garden low rise or garden mid rise and all the subcategories.
Right.
And 2, to have some level of quality control because, some of our peers have had assets up there that are being represented by someone who does not actually have the listing, or is inaccurately portraying the asset. So it gives us an opportunity to see the deal, but most importantly, allows us to make your life a little easier.
Beautiful. Well, that's something that a lot of our competitors really don't have, is that quality control component. Because let's face it, I've seen some listings on some of your competitors that have been there for like 5 years, and then they aren't really listings anymore. They're long gone, or the property's changed hands twice, or it's been removed. So it's not something that they're really keeping an eye on.
Yeah, correct. And I have a team, we call them the deal management team, of people who are your, for lack of a better word, concierge. You can call them in the middle of the night and ask about the score of a game or anything else. And their job is to manage the listing, ensure that the listing is still live and the information is accurate. So we're very hands-on in a non-intrusive way when you do have a deal with us, only to help you and help the market. Otherwise, we stay out of the way, and as you saw, you can power all the programs on your own.
Right. Hey, now, Eli, is there any type of product you guys simply will not put on there, or is the deal size that you need to be above to make it work? Is it pretty much just about anything as long as it's a righteous commercial investment deal?
We are typically $1 million and up, although we will look at other deals, and there are instances we will do smaller deals, and it's not to be snobs, but to have some level of exclusivity and to make sure the buyers know these are good deals. We're really working on a little bit of everything. I think we're going to see a lot of land in this next cycle. So we're open to land, even though maybe once upon a time I wouldn't have been. We are open to anything. We believe in the product and believe it works with broker buy-in, regardless of the property type. Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I saw it, I think you and I spent maybe a grand total of 10 minutes going over it, and I started, serving up some listings right away. And I've already gotten probably 2 or 3 dozen responses, and people that have actually looked at, my product online. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was a key. At this point, if anybody's got any questions, please type them in the question box. I'm going to have Eli go ahead and put his contact information up for you. I told you this was going to be kind of a quick one tonight, and I'd encourage you all, if you've got any further questions or comments, concerns, reach out to Eli directly. I mean, you can always get a hold of him and, share those with him. But I got to tell you something, guys. I think this is a really solid platform, and it gives us, like I said, another alternative to LoopNet and CoStar, and certainly I think something that gives us a real competitive advantage in the marketplace, because it's just another arrow in the quiver. It's just another arrow, another tool. Hey, Eli, can you see Heather's question?
I can, and also one from Richard. I'll answer them both. So for Richard, you can just sign up on your own online. To post listings, you can click the Submit Property tab, or you can send me an email directly at eli@CREXi.com. Should be in the middle of your screen here. Also, call me anytime. I'm uber responsive and always available. For Heather, we are only doing for sale right now. Maybe someday we hope to have that tough question whether we will do leasing or not. I think we want to be the best at dispositions first, and then explore leasing and other areas. And we are looking to really be a full cycle portfolio transaction management platform. So, I think the whole big picture is someday maybe you can manage your leasing on the platform, and if you decide to sell the asset, you can then push it through the disposition cycle. We're very close to having our disposition tracker out, which will show you all the closing timelines and all the parties and hard money and where it is. Yeah. But for the time being, we're only doing sale.
Gotcha. Anybody else out there have any questions? Go ahead and type them in. Again, Eli, if you would blow that contact information up there. so everybody can get a hold of that. And like I said, I think if you've got a listing or if you got one, if you got something you want to promote, reach out to Eli and share it with him and his team. I know they're really responsive. A couple of my people were working with you guys today, getting some listings up. So I know they were really helpful and got that done quickly, and they're always responsive. And again, it helps us overthrow the evil empire. So
Great. And Ray asked my best question, which I was going to chime in on if it didn't come up. Right now, there is no cost, zero, nowhere. There's nothing hidden. We are a pre-revenue company, which means we make nothing, which doesn't sound very glamorous, but it's the venture capital model. You're funded to build out a platform, make it fluid, make it stick, build out a marketplace, and then you find a way to monetize it. I can tell you our goal, our philosophy, our thoughts on monetization are non-intrusive to the deal. So that might be some strategic partnerships with lenders, maybe a little advertising, and I did hear your comment earlier, Adam, and maybe a small success fee like 10 basis points if we bring you a winning buyer, but certainly not full percentage points, certainly not things that'll change the cap rate to the deal or your life. I think we believe technology should limit and minimize friction costs as opposed to stacking them on.
Sure. Well, here's my thought process. If it's free now and it gets my product out to a national platform, don't take this the wrong way, Eli, but I'm going to use the hell out of you guys. Yeah. I'm going to put every listing I got on that.
We like being used.
Yeah, I'm going to use you guys. I'm going to put everything I got out there, and let's see where it heads. But really, unless there's any other questions, gang, that's what I wanted to introduce you to tonight. Again, if you've got any, other questions, concerns, or you want to get some listings on there, reach out directly to Eli. If you can't see it for one reason or another, go to their website. It's www.CREXi.com. I got that right?
Correct. And I see someone saying they can't make out the phone number. It's 305-331-2881. And I'm a pretty easy guy to find, so you can always reach out to me. And, I'm a very hands-on guy to the extent that I don't get in your way. So, let me know how I can help you, and I'm here to help you make money and help make this market more efficient.
Beautiful. Hey, well, listen, I want to thank you for popping on tonight with us, Eli. And gang, as always, I wish you continued success. Thanks for joining me. And you know what? That's it for tonight. We'll see you next week when we talk about the all-important internal rates of return. So thanks again. Have a great night. And Eli, thank you a ton, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks to the audience for listening to me. Really appreciate it.
Not at all, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.